to Study Prep Guys channel, everyone. Today we'll be looking at CSEC 2018 to 2013 questions and answers marathon for CSEC 2025. So, without further ado, we'll be looking at the first question, section I, the first question on the paper for each year from the year 2018 to 2013, and we'll be answering it in the most simplest of senses. First of all, we have CSEC 2008, May, June. So let's answer that first question. So on section one, it says answer the three questions in section. So for the first question on IA, it says identify four departments of a typical business. I did have some initial answers for this, but I provided more than the initial amount. So first of all is the financial department, and this deals with the management of revenue that or the influx of financial deposits in and out of the business and how we're allocating that money. So we have the marketing department, which is mainly responsible for getting the product out into society, making sure that people know about the brand. We have the HR department. The HR department, the human resource department, which is responsible for the working relation between managers and employees and making sure that the facilitation mechanisms in the business, for example, like a worker, is up to date and they are comfortable in a sense. We have the packaging department and we have the managerial department, as the term suggests. The managerial department is in correlation to the logistical department that really deals with managing the fiscal accounts and actually making sure that there is not a deficit within the business, that the business is flowing smoothly, and that everything is managed effectively. So we have the CSEC marathon on this is on the year 2019, May, June. So on it says answer the three questions in this section. This is section I. It says state two reasons why an individual may want to establish a business. So there are two initial answers to this. First of all, is personal reasons. They may have aspired to build a business ever since they were a kid or ever since they were very young. And then secondly, we have independence. The feeling of being independent is very fulfilling since you won't have to rely on anyone. And independence might be a particular reason why most persons want to establish a business for themselves since they won't have to rely on anyone but themselves. So some tips when answering CSA question is the PEE method: point, explain, dash evidence, an example. So point, the author creates suspense, reportification, whether evidence, he described the wind as it hollowed and rattled the windows, and then an explanation, the power gives the wind an unnatural feeling suggesting suffering. So when answering questions, you state your point. For example, I'll look into an example right now with the system of bartering. This is a very simple question. In the year 2010, it says define the term barter. So barter is the exchange of goods and services for other goods and services. Example, exchange of bread for cheese. So I stated a point. I stated barter. I explain and give a definitive definition of what bartering system is, and then I give an example of it, and that will get you what considered to be worth 2 marks. So let's move on to 2011. This is May June POB again. It says answer the three questions in the section. State the characteristic of each of the types of leadership styles. We have the two types of leadership styles, which is the democratic and autocratic. So first of all, we have on the democratic side, it says what are two characteristics of the democratic leadership style. So first of all, the autocratic leader does not take the opinions of others. Their decisions are final. No one could question them. No one could ask them why they are making the decision. Their decision is final. We have democratic leader characteristics, which is that they really do take the opinions of others. And the autocratic and democratic leadership style is two different sides of a coin. And secondly, they considered other opinion before arriving at a solution. And that's really where the differentiation lies. So, characteristics of a small business is CSEC 2012, May, June, in continuation with Marathon. It said identify three features of a small business. So the first feature is management is small. They don't have a huge amount of personnel work within a small business, usually family and friends. And their main source of revenue is personal savings account. They don't have leverage in other business settings, and all risk fall on the owner of the business. If the business is going bankrupt, that will fall solely on the owner of that business. So this is 2013. This is up to the last question on the CSEC marathon. So list two types of documents used in business transactions. Um, so first of all, it says answer question B. Sorry for not answering the A, but we'll answer B because I really want to get down to this. Distinguish between the terms insurance and assurance. So, insurance covers the events that may happen, such as theft, fire, or accident. Provides financial protection against potential losses. However, assurance covers events that are certain to happen, such as death. It guarantees payment for these inevitable events or accidents. Um, so insurance only covers for those things like when you're alive, like financial protection in case of potential losses, but assurance goes beyond that. In case of the inevitable, when you actually die, they provide payments in that sort of manner. So it says there, and if I two types of insurance policies, we have a lot of insurance policies. We have auto insurance, this is drive without auto insurance is against the law in most countries. But we have auto insurance, we have home insurance, we have renters insurance, we have the umbrella insurance. Um, so auto, home, and renters insurance comes with liability, meaning that you may have to pay a little bit amount of money in order to actually make it happen. So we umbrella insurance, you may have to make a certain amount of fee to the insurance company that you're working alongside with in order to make sure that it happens in case the inevitable does occur. With that, that is everything for the CSA guide, the study prep guys, Chill Zone Marathon. Subscribe